Digital Media.
Come on!
Broadcast Hippo Digital Media.
What's up, everybody? Hi.
Hi, how are you? I'm Andrew Z. We got Gina, Donny P, and Chris Tiefel. And Demetrius just texted me he's on his way. Good morning, everybody.
He
Welcome.
can-
Get stuck
no
in
longer-
traffic.
Yeah, he can no longer give us crap about being late or not wanting to do the show or any of that.
First of all,
Wait,
he
his
has
first time.
never given us crap about being late. Like that doesn't happen.
It's
'Cause
true.
he's late every day.
That's because you're not here when he's given the crap because you're late.
Oh, oh, yeah, that might be it.
It's a good point. Good point.
Good point. Yeah, Gina's always the one late, so.
Because I can't do people before coffee. There's an order to the day, and it's coffee then people.
I don't know. I'm on 49 hours of no caffeine.
Are you cutting it out on purpose?
Yeah, I promised myself when I reached the weight that I reached that I would give up soda, and soda was my only source of caffeine. So
Good for you, man. And tell the people how much weight you've lost.
I'm down 40 pounds.
Wow.
Good job, people.
And that's just from you changing
The beard. Oh.
That's from the beard. No, that's just from you changing from eating out every single meal, sometimes 2 to 3 times a day, and now you're cooking at home all the time, right? I mean, that's your only change. You're not doing it consciously, correct?
Yeah, I mean, once I realized I was losing weight from doing it, because I was literally eating out breakfast, lunch, and dinner, eating out, and then on the weekends I would DoorDash, and so financially it wasn't sustainable, and obviously, apparently not entirely healthy. Who knew that eating out for every meal is what made you broke and fat? So when I realized I was losing weight, I looked at it. So technically, I am doing like the intermittent fasting thing. So I don't eat after 6 p.m. So between 6 p.m. and 11 a.m. I don't eat. 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. I just eat normal. I keep my my serving sizes down or whatnot. So I prep my lunches and I eat those. That's the first thing I eat at 11, and then I might have a small snack of like there's Cheez-Its in the vending machine. I eat those sometimes, and then just have dinner.
Wow. And
You're a small snack now. Sorry.
You are a small snack. Damn. So what's the lunch this week? Because I know what you do is you put all the lunches together. You make five lunches, and that'll be for your week. What's the lunch? What's on the lunch menu this week?
I made. I found a recipe for sort of an Asian wing sauce, and then I kind of kicked it up a bit with some chili sauce. So it's kind of like a spicy Asian wing and some lo mein on there, that I'm doing. So it's basically, if I can, the computer will cooperate. Okay, she got it. So yeah,
I know.
So that's
and he
this
posts
week.
this shit every week, and I'm over here fat.
I know.
Where's mine? I asked him if he would prep my lunches if I paid him. He said no.
Yeah, I barely do mine.
Why don't you start a meal prep service? Well, if you're making 5, what's the difference in making 10? And you just add some. She's going to add
5
money
more.
To pay for your.
Have you seen
5 more? That's
math.
Have you seen the size of my kitchen? But yeah, I usually prep out my lunches, and then I usually have at least one more serving, so I have that for my Sunday lunch. And that's.
I don't think I could eat the same thing all week long. I'd have to have at least 2 different things, like every other day.
But he's varying the dinner, so I could do lunch. I could do the same lunch 6 days.
And then next week for lunches, I'm going to make let's see if I can pronounce this correctly. Tamal and cazuela. It's basically Cuban polenta.
I thought it was a comedy group that.
Yeah, Tamal and cazuela. I can't pronounce it correctly. I'm not.
Juggle.
But I'm gonna cook the shit out of it. I can't pronounce it or say it or spell it, but I'm gonna cook the shit out of it.
What's it called again?
It's Tamal. It's Tamal
Fidel
and
Castro.
cazuela. Yeah, it's Cuban polenta. It's basically a.
Sounds like Thomas and Connie. I feel like we should just say it in English. Thomas and Connie.
It's basically like a Cuban grits.
It's really good. The Netflix.
It's like a Cuban grits with like pork and jalapeno and.
Sounds delish. All right. There you go. Welcome everybody. Demetrius, welcome to the show. We talked about you being late, but we said you're never late and you never complain about us being late, so we can't give you shit.
Sorry, my dog needed a walk. I have to walk this bitch every morning, 2 miles a day, every morning. And
puppy?
Yeah, he needs it. And like, this dog has so much energy. It's just that's just the one thing I got to make sure it gets done in the morning. And then I got this damn towel wrapped in duct tape tied to a string and a pole that I just swing around the backyard and watch him chase.
Did you come up with something to play with your dog so you don't have to move?
First of all, I can't run as fast as he needs me to run. And that is just, I'm not running through my neighborhood with a pit bull being black. That ain't a thing.
Just looking like Mr. Clean.
That is just, so yeah, they have this thing, I saw it on the internet called a flirt pole. And what it is it's an extendable pole with a rope and like a dog toy tied to the end of it.
Oh, there's a toy. Oh, never mind.
And so what you do is like you just whip it around the grass so he sees he has something to chase, and he just runs and runs and runs.
That sounds like the thing you get on like old TV shows where they put a carrot at the end of a stick and put it in front of the horse so it walks.
Basically,
oh yeah,
yes.
It's like an old greyhound race. They release a rabbit and then these dogs chase a mechanical rabbit, and
I never went to one of those, but I always thought it was cool to watch, like on TV or wherever, where they release that
listen
rabbit.
to on that radio.
Yeah, I was just thinking
This just in. That's right, 1495. It's the dog that has it all. He is going down the inside lane. He is chasing, and that is right. It is Hitler's youth. Hitler's youth in front, all being chased by the Allied powers. That's right, people. It looks like America has won again.
Here's Noah's Bark. Noah's Bark.
Noah's Bark. Did you guys see last week that Ron Popeil died? Now, does everyone know who Ron Popeil is?
See the dog trainer for the dog races?
Pitchman, wasn't he?
No, he's an inventor though. But before he was a pitchman, he was a pitchman for his own products. He's 85. He was like 85 or something, mid 80s.
Sucks when people your age die, right?
Shut up, Tiefel. Don't laugh at her shit.
No, that's crazy. Look at you guys just throwing insults at each other about death.
I know.
Good morning.
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah,
I
fucking Delta variant running, and everybody's like, "Well, isn't that when you die?"
My nephew, when he stayed at my place last weekend, like he kept bringing up the topic of death, like he just figured out that he's gonna die someday, and he's just trying to figure it out. And I am not equipped to handle that. That is, I didn't choose to have a kid and have to mentally prepare myself for that eventual conversation.
You're like, I'm not even in the grips with it for myself, so let's move on there, sir.
I kept trying to steer the conversation somewhere else, and somehow we ended up back at death.
So here's what Ron Popeil invented. He invented the Chop-O-Matic, which is basically you put the veggie in, and then it's a plunger on the top, and you just hit it down a bunch of times.
It's one of my favorite kitchen tools.
Yes. Oh, yeah. He invented that. He invented Mr. Microphone.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah. He was
Did
that.
He invent it?
He invented. That's what I'm saying. He was an inventor before he was a pitchman. He invented Mr. Microphone. For those who don't know, aren't old enough, Mr. Microphone would hook up to your radio, so you could be driving around, and the commercial was the guy would be talking on the phone on the radio, and the girls would walk by. He's like, "Hey, I'm on the radio." It was basically like the first karaoke machine.
And that's how Andrew got his start.
It is.
The Popeil Pocket Fisherman. That's where he had a fishing pole.
I got a big one.
Yeah. The Veg-O-Matic.
I go fishing regularly then.
Do you know?
In your pocket.
Can I just ask though? I mean, at what? Because all these things are situational inventions, right? Like he was walking around and he was like, "Man, you know what? I don't really have, I don't have the patience to chop veggies. So if I could put them in a cup with a bunch of blades and a spring and just slap the shit out of them, that'd be awesome." Yeah. And then he was like, "You know what? I don't really know anybody in radio. So if I just invent a transmitter that'll hijack a signal, I can talk on radio.
Yes.
But at what point were you walking by a pond and you were like, I really need to fish right now?
Hey.
It was a bigger problem back in the day. If you didn't fish, you didn't eat.
No, I don't think it was that far back.
I know. You're walking
All right,
around.
Jesus, pump your brakes.
Dude, he invented Vaporize, the spray that you spray on dog poop and it disappears.
What is that a thing?
It just
No,
painted
that's a
the
horrible Jack Black movie. Shame on you.
It's a great Jack Black movie.
He's like, shame on you for tricking these dumbasses.
so
I'm like, what?
See, this is what happens when like they stop making Star Wars movies. The Jedis have to find other shit to do.
We do. You guys, do you think that young people these days, not even kids, like 15 to 25, still are
Young
just
people.
waiting to invent something to make it big? Because like, think about it. When we were kids, like everyone thought they had like one big invention in them. Like, what are we going to come up with? And it's going to set us free. But we grew up in like the 80s and 90s and stuff. Like now kids have smartphones and Google. It's like, I don't think there's anything else to invent for these,
Dude,
for these
they're
young kids.
rebooting
Like,
80s
Right.
sitcoms. There's no way these
Right.
kids are thinking of anything new.
My nephew came up to me one day and he's like, "Look, I invented a robot," and he handed me this like paper thing, and I was like, "That's just crappy origami." Like, well, what are you doing?
That's why I
but
never
yeah,
done anything.
yeah,
These kids spend
keeping
real
them down.
money on.
Can-
These kids spend real money on fake money. You guys, they're not. They're not. They buy the V-Bucks and the Robux and all these the fake
these kids-
game money.
These
They're
kids
not
don't buy
money.
V-Bucks. We buy V-Bucks and give them to our children.
Right,
That-
but they want to
that is
spend
the-
real money on
Yeah,
fake
they
money.
And you know what's funny is like you say it like that, like you want to spend real money on fake money, but what you're really saying is you want to spend my money on fake money, and I'm
spend their
okay with that
allowance.
if it gets you out of my face. Like
Yeah.
if it gets you, I will get you the Fort Knox of V-Bucks. You can buy every skin, avatar, weapon, glider, anything that you want if you just stop talking to me for just 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we spent money on gift certificates. It's essentially the same thing. It's like, here, let me exchange my money for something that's exactly the same, but I can
No.
only spend in this one place.
Right, but
That
you
is not the
get
same thing.
something for it. They're getting video. They're getting like fake clothes for their avatars and things like that. And I don't spend my money at all. I give them. They get allowance. They spend their own money.
You realize that's still your money, right?
That's still your
But
money.
they have to earn it. It's not like I just hand them money. They earn it.
Yeah.
She's got
Well,
kids out in the
that's
field.
like
Way to
saying
reconcile it.
That's
she's
like saying that my
field earning
employer.
their money.
Wait, you guys, hold on. That's like saying my employer's money is still their money once they cut me my check. I'm earning
it's
that
not.
money.
No.
Are you cutting them a
No.
W-2?
Are
Are
you firing your children when they don't meet performance standards?
Fuck yes, they can get out.
Fill out an I-9 form?
See, really, what it is, it's just a form of money laundering. And I tell Colleen this all the time. She's like, I didn't buy that for Josie not Josie. I didn't buy that for Mallory. She bought it with her own.
Josie ain't making her own decisions.
All the kids have their own credit cards, but Colleen, puts money on them. She's like, I didn't buy that. Mallory bought that with her own credit card. But you put the money on the credit card. All you did was launder the money so that I wouldn't get mad at you for buying it for her.
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah. You just transferred the responsibility. Although you're the head of the mafia family, you've divvied out like individual ATM bullets, and you're
Right.
like, I didn't shoot them. I just put the ammunition in their accounts so that
some
they
RICO
could
charges
shoot them.
coming to the Zepeda household.
Do you guys
No.
not give your kids allowance? Am I the only one that does that?
How can you afford to give your kids allowance? You have like 50 of them.
Because
What the hell does Dubs do for a living?
I'm gonna either pay them to do it or I'm gonna pay a service to do it. I have too many jobs to clean my own house.
All right, real quick. Real quick, couple things. So Ron Popeil also invented the button ear. I don't know if you guys remember the button ear, but you could sew your own button on right instantly. Like it would, you put the button in the little thing, and you'd like it was kind of like a stapler. but he would put your butter. He also had the electric food dehydrator. Like if you ever wanted to make your own beef jerky, which you always bought the thing.
There was a separate machine for the beef jerky.
Oh.
Everyone I know that's older had one of those things that was still in the box, and I still see them on Facebook Marketplace every once in a while. They pop up like brand new in box food dehydrator, but it's like from 1985.
Yeah. I love it when you go to like garage sales and you still see them in the original box sitting on a folding table, and you're like, "Oh, look at you! Look at you!"
Like I thought I liked
and you put $5 on it. More. It's $5.
Yeah,
and you know that they bought it directly. Like they called in and they did it over the phone and everything. Meanwhile, I could just go down to Walmart and get as seen on TV products without all that bullshit.
Exactly. Here's a couple more. He did the spray on hair. Which is,
hey Demetrius, you might want to look into that.
No, I'm good. There's a reason why. Like I don't have any of that. I don't need to hide my features. Who are you trying to hide from? Trying to not make it on a post office wall?
He made the pasta maker, and finally, not finally, he made more, but the bedazzler. He made the bedazzler. He invented that.
That was huge.
And
D had that apparently,
and he was worth like $2 billion when he died.
So I sent you a link. There's a guy. Have you guys seen this guy on Reddit who he makes unnecessary products? Have you heard of this guy?
Yeah. That guy's awesome.
So
do you want me to play a specific one?
I don't know. Just I wanted to shoot it over to you. There's so many. I was looking to see if there's anything that would like kind of stand out, but
I'm not aware.
So he just makes random. He calls them unnecessary inventions, but
I saw
some of them are pretty good.
I didn't do the
corn on the cob.
Hold on, I have to redo it because I didn't do it with the audio.
Okay.
And this one is so funny.
Does that need audio? I mean, can't you just look at the hand and see exactly what the point of that is?
No. You know what? It might be better without audio.
So I saw this one. I saw this one on Facebook, where it's he puts butter in this fake hand, and then you put it on the corn, and it looks like the hand is checking off the.
Is the hand?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hold on, this is so funny.
I want to see. I love it.
Share audio. I did it 3 times and forgot to click the button every time.
See, the problem is it's a check box, not a button.
So while you're pulling that up, okay.
Here we go.
It's up. Finally.
Okay.
Right in the middle.
My newest invention here is called the Cob Quickie. Hands down the easiest way to butter your corn on the cob on a hot summer day. Simply grab yourself a fresh stick of butter and using our patent-pending firm grip design, place the butter directly onto the center spikes. Then simply go to town buttering your corn on the cob from top to bottom. No matter what your technique is, get the job done this summer when you use the Cob Quickie.
Oh my God.
Now, are these real products for sale, or is he just making one for the video fun?
I mean, some of them should be.
Some of them definitely should be. Like
he had this rage quit thing that he did was basically just this inflatable thing that you put your controller in, and you have to reach into these holes to play your video game. So like whenever you rage quit and you throw your controller, it won't hurt anything.
That's a good one. So people can't steal your charging plug. You change the outlet so your plug is screwed into the wall.
Oh my gosh, I actually need that. They need to make that because my kids are assholes and they just steal all my chargers.
I fucking hate it, dude. I'm like, I left the charger. I make extra caution that if I take something out, I'm gonna put it back because nobody else in this house knows how to put a goddamn thing back. It's fucking annoying.
Whoa,
and you keep putting money on their credit cards.
He's dropping F-bombs. He's angry.
I have a motto in my house. It's where it stops is where it stays. It is the craziest thing in the world. You will look and you're like, why? Why is there a bottle of laundry detergent on the kitchen table? And that's where it stopped. That's where it stopped.
Yes, dude. There's stuff on the counter. Let me look.
Don't.
A Saturday Night Live game has been sitting on the counter for 2 months. It just become part of the kitchen counter.
See, I have the opposite problem in this house because Ashley, we have like a kind of a small house for how many people live here. So she's an expert at like hiding, like putting things away and finding places for things, but it's never the same place. So like I just have to like keep like buying the same. Like I buy so many chargers because she'll put them away and then they'll just disappear.
She's got a drawer for them, and you just don't remember where the drawer is.
I looked in that drawer, and that's so full of other things now. Like it was the plug drawer, and then it became the plug and this drawer, and then the plug and this and this drawer. So now it's just everything else. No more plugs in there.
When I was a kid, that's so funny. When I was a kid, we called that a junk drawer. There was a junk drawer where you just had all the junk, and you just
all my drawers are junk drawers.
I got two.
That should be a book or something.
Two totally dedicated to just random. There's like 4 screwdrivers in one and a hammer. There's
the Allen wrench.
Yeah, and it's
the Allen wrenches.
Like it is the craziest thing. And then you dig through it and you can never find what you're looking for.
Right. I know I've put 7 Allen wrenches in there every time we get a piece of furniture. And so then when I need an Allen wrench, I go in there. There's none in there. It's like, how is there none in there? I've put every single Allen wrench that comes with the furniture.
An Allen wrench when you're not putting together furniture.
To tighten said furniture that became loose because your kids are climbing off of it. And stuff
I forgot about the kids.
Here's what I would do. If I was president, when I become president, my first act, and this is going to be an executive action. I'm not taking it to Congress. There will be no vote on it. There is going to be a standard screw, a standard whatever. There will be no more Allen wrench. There's be one type of screw. Everyone is going to get one tool to fix those in every single piece of furniture. No, you don't have to be like, is this going to fit? I need a kit of 75 different sizes because one of the no. There's going to be a small, a medium, a large, and an extra large. That's it. They're all going to be the same.
Considering how much furniture is not made in this country, you're going to be president of the world.
Look, first,
and United States can't.
I'll vote for you.
I need somebody to hunt down Allen, who invented that wrench, and then shoot him in the face.
Yeah, I know it's not even a good invention, but it's every furniture company's go-to is this Allen thing, but we don't use it for anything else except for the furniture to put together.
I know. You see that tool? It is always in some vacuum-packed paper seal thing that you gotta scrape the back up off of, and then pull 40 tiny little screws out of another little compartment next to it, and it's like tool included,
and it hurts. Like eventually your hand hurts because the thing is so small and like metal. You're like,
I know, and you have to tweak it, and it's the worst invention ever. I don't even know who came up with it. And the other thing that I don't understand, let's say I buy a stapler. I'll just say stapler. This
is my stapler.
At what year did the packaging become so difficult to open? Like I've cut my finger on plastic packaging.
Do you know how many people have stolen staplers in the past? I mean, come on.
But no, it's not the stolen kind. I know that, but it's like the kind where you try to rip it apart and it comes apart in like in a a piece that you would stab you.
Shards.
And you have to get a knife. It's like,
why would you get a knife before you got just your scissors?
Holy Christ! Is there another way that you could just critique how he attacks like a problem? Like why would you use a knife and not scissors?
He's talking about that hard plastic.
Why would you call that a button and not a check?
He's talking about taking a knife and just stabbing at the heart like it's freaking Caesar instead of just getting a pair of scissors and cutting along the top and the side.
I will answer that question.
Go ahead, Donny.
Most men are not able to look for scissors. They grab the nearest thing, which is almost always a knife.
Yeah. The scissors are in the other room. That was the answer.
Know
that are in the other room.
That the scissors are in the junk drawer, and you can't find them in the fucking junk drawer. But knives are next to the forks.
I have one drawer in my kitchen, and it has like my silverware and a few other things. I have my knives and my scissors like out there in the open. On display.
People, you formerly fat motherfucker. Listen to me. You live alone. You live alone. Yes. You can't get in on this conversation. Yeah. There aren't 5 other.
I didn't always live alone.
There aren't 5 other things running around, pulling shit out of it and not putting it back. It's way different. You can't even get in
like you don't ever have to walk into your apartment, Chris, and go, God damn it, Chris, why do you keep moving shit?
Yes.
I've actually done that.
Where you put something, it stays.
I've gotten upset
where
at myself
I put
for
it
leaving
is
a
where
light
it's
on.
meant to be, Chris.
I've gotten upset at myself over leaving a light on. Like I'll leave the bathroom light on, and then I'll later on I'll notice that it's on, and I'll just be grumbling the entire way. And it's just like well, I'm paying for this goddamn light.
Wait, hey, Josh has a good point.
I love it. Go ahead, Donnie. It's funny.
Somewhere manly men are. I lost the comment, but
hold on.
Somewhere manly men's heads are blowing up right now for the amount of Karen whining over Allen wrench zip pack seals.
Because he brings up a good point.
Thank you, Joshua, for letting me know that's called zip packing. I did not know that. I called it motherfucker who did this.
He's referencing the faction of men out there where it's a rite of passage to open the package at the house. Hold on, give it to me. I'll open it. Like the macho, the action of opening a package and then a jar of pickles.
Yeah.
The manly man's man.
Oh,
I actually have a scar on my middle finger from that packaging because I was trying to open it like I was doing it with the scissors, and the scissors slipped, and I sliced my whole middle finger. And of course,
the appropriate way to hold the package is middle finger out.
Well, I sliced my whole middle finger.
Please.
From that.
Tell me, remember what was in it, because that's like a
good start. It was 90, so I'm gonna go with probably like a Walkman, like a CD Walkman.
So you're
telling me that scar was worth it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
First kid with a Walkman.
Yeah, I was like, and just sliced my whole finger. And I remember whatever was in it. I was so excited. I like ran my finger under cold water. Like I'm like, my dad's like, we need to get stitches. And I'm like, oh, just put it under. Like I turned into like a 40-year-old man or something. Like I'm just gonna put it under the water, put some super glue on it. Like I was trying to. I don't know.
Good, D.
I mean, remember when and God, this show is turning like old man talky. But like when your CD Walkman died and like you had to replace the batteries and you only had like 3 batteries and it needed 4 and you were like, and you were looking around to like cannibalize some other poor battery operated toy.
Right. And then the
I
remote,
need my bell bib to blow.
Your dad would go to use the remote and be like, what happened to the battery and the remote? Because you took the battery and the remote.
And then your kid walks in, he's like, that girl is poison. You're like, you motherfucker.
So good times. Anyway,
I'm not old. I'm refined for old men.
I have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get to our guest real quick before you get to your lots of stuff.
We have a guest.
Yeah.
We have a guest.
Who are we subjecting to this today?
We're really cussy today too. So we have Willie Eaton from Skyway Career Prep, and she's coming on to talk to us a little bit about Skyway and an event they have coming up.
What is Skyway Career Prep?
She's going to tell you all about it in a second. It's not for you. It's not for old men.
I need a career. Tell me.
Hi, Willie.
Good morning. How is everybody doing?
Good
morning.
We'd be doing better now if we would have known that you were going to be here.
I love it. I needed the humor. I'm honored to be here, but I was like a kid looking forward to going to Cedar Point. I didn't sleep last night because I knew I was going to.
Well, you're up.
Welcome to the roller coaster. That is definitely an appropriate analogy.
You have our heart now that you brought up Cedar Point.
What would you say, Donnie P? What would you say that this show? What would you like which roller coaster would you like in this show too?
Teacup ride.
I would say probably the Millennium Force. A lot of hype, but takes you up to some big highs, but ultimately lets you down.
That's so accurate.
That is accurate.
We're like the Millennium Force of radio.
I would have said like that
and we were
squirt gun.
cooler.
I would have said like that squirt gun game where you try to race horses and you try really hard and then you win and then they give you a tiny stuffed animal. That is what this show is.
You know what I mean?
It is a lot of effort with little reward.
We don't want to give our guest a false sense that she's getting a prize at the end of this.
Yeah.
And we were a big deal 20 years ago.
You know what's sad? I'll tell you what's sad is now at Cedar Point, they have gotten rid. I'm terrible at games. The one game I am an expert on where I would never lose.
Guess
your age.
The one what? Guess the age. Well, that's okay. It's number one. But there's no skill for me. I just have to look this good. But the one
That's
game,
a skill.
Yes, thank you, Donny. The one game that I was an expert, I considered an expert on, I would never lose, is the whack-a-mole. And they don't have whack-a-mole anymore. The one game I'm good at, I can show the kids. Like you always see those parents that have like 7 stuffed animals, and like they're carrying them around, and one's like hugging them because it's so big, like the stuffed animal, they're wearing it around their back, and you're like, wow, I want to be that parent where I could just buy the because in your kid's eye, you look like a superhero parent, and I can't do that. But the one game I could do that on was whack-a-mole. It's the one game they don't have anywhere anymore, including Cedar Point.
They had to get rid of it because there were too many steel drummers just coming up and just crushing that game with their steel drumming skills.
You're so good. What do you do? I'm a steel drummer, man.
Now give me the big stuffed lion.
Okay, so let's
Get Neil Peart doing YYZ on Whack-A-Mole.
All right, Willie. So Willie, what is the Career Prep Academy?
It's Skyway Career Prep, and we are a dropout recovery school.
Ooh,
yeah.
Awesome.
So we are not under the Toledo Public School umbrella, and we work with students from 16 to 21. And help them finish their high school education.
Willie,
you guys have a career credit repair program, don't you?
I want to be in that.
No, I mean, don't you, Willie?
So, what was the question?
Credit. Do you guys do a credit repair program too with your students?
No, but we do have a success coach, and we have assisted students with straightening things out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I'll get to some of that in a minute.
First of all, Willie, now that you say what the mission is of the school, I love you even more because I finished my education at a school similar because I just when I was after my junior year, my senior year, I just didn't take school serious or for whatever reason, and I had to end up going to a secondary school, which wasn't very good. It wasn't a great school. I was just that smart, but put that aside. It wasn't a great school. So I love the fact that you're working with these kids because life happens, Willie, where you where some kids just don't finish, and you take them in all the way up to 21. I just love your mission.
Thank you.
And Willie, would you say that this is it's for kids that don't thrive in traditional school?
I wouldn't say don't thrive because when you're in a household, mom has to be at work at 5. You got to get the kids to school at 9 o'clock in the morning. You're going to be the one staying home, getting them to school, then getting to school yourself. And for some families, that's thriving because mom gets to bring home a paycheck. They get to have a roof. They have clothes. They have food. So we don't use not thriving because people's circumstances and situations are different. And in their situations, they're thriving. They're doing just fine.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Willie.
that makes sense.
I love it. That's awesome. Willie, I'm excited now. So would a parent approach you? Would like, or just someone that says, "Hey, I know that I dropped out, but I want to go back." I wish people realized. I wish I realized how important school was. Like one of my biggest regrets is not finishing school. my senior year, like if I go or even taking it more serious or paying more attention or, being more involved. Like that's one of my biggest regrets in life is to not do that.
Okay. That's one of the mindsets that we work with our students on, that don't regret that you didn't finish in your regular educational time. Let's focus on you finishing, period.
Wow.
That's looking toward the future. Here at Skyway, we are trying to produce educated, productive citizens once they do leave high school so that they're ready to take on some real world stuff.
Go ahead, Demetrius.
So I was wondering, and it's always, I guess I've always wondered that, like, how many dropouts, how many people don't finish school here? Do you have a number? Is there a percentage?
The dropout number here in the city of Toledo for Toledo Public.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't have that particular number, but I can tell you right now, we're probably, I can probably say good mid-20s, 30%, and that's a huge number.
Yeah.
Ohio overall is about 1.7%. I just looked it up.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Willie, is that when I was a kid, I didn't even know that dropping out was an option. I think I'm experienced more kids just don't finish school, and I didn't realize how big a problem it was. And thank God that there's a school, schools like yours around that pick that up because, like you said, if it's 20, I believe 20 to 30%. I believe 2 out of every 10 or 3 out of every 10.
And the thing of that is you have to understand. Once you start a traditional school and you leave it, you're considered a dropout, even if you go back to it. So that's why that number sits where it sits. I'm sorry, go ahead.
One second, I just wanted to throw out the stat for you. I just looked it up. It says that Toledo's TPS's state graduation rate is hovering around 65%.
See,
Jesus.
See,
that's graduation. Does that qualify as dropping out if
you don't complete, there you go into a bracket.
Okay. So Willie,
but then those kids come to us, thank God. So they may not make that number, but that's why a Skyway career prep is so important.
So Willie, I'm 19 years old.
Okay.
I dropped out of school when I was 17. I've been out of the education system for 2 years, just trying to get by, and I'm thinking about coming back. What does that journey look like for me? Where does it start? What are your concentrations?
Okay, first of all, it starts with you doing just what you did there, stating that you want it, that you want to come back to it. You just completed half the battle with your mindset. And the second thing you can do is you can call us here at Skyway at the 419-241-5504. You will get Mrs. Lori, who's our receptionist up front, and she's going to tell you, bring an ID, a proof of residency, and your birth certificate, and we can start your process to you getting that other 50% to finish school.
Wow. Well,
it's not complicated.
Miss Eaton, you're doing God's work. Thank you so much for taking some time this morning. There is a welcome back to school bash that's happening August 12th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you want more information on Skyway.
And I will be there, by the way.
Oh, Gina's going to be there. It's on Adams Street in Toledo. There's going to be video games, a live DJ, ice cream, hot dogs. So make sure you check out.
That's why I'm going to be there, because there's Netties.
So welcome back to school bash for Skyway Career Prep. Also, if you want to, what's the website that Skyway Career Prep?
I did post it in the comments. Thank you, Tiefel, for bringing that up. Careerprepschool.org.
Yeah.
Okay, careerprepschool.org. All right. Willie, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I enjoyed you guys this morning.
You're awesome. Have a
Thank
wonderful day.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Miss Willie. I'll talk to you later.
I feel judged by Google because when I Googled their name, it came up and it gave me their address, with the little map and everything, and then it started telling me how far of a walk it was from every bar in the area.
It's like, stop spending some time there. Do something for yourself, Tiefel. Do something with yourself.
Stop reading labels.
I want to talk about we're talking about Ron Popeil and the old inventions
and the Ronco design.
All the inventions that he came up with. There was a shooting at Franklin Park Mall last night. And I guess it started in the Don Juan Mexican restaurant. First of all, there's margaritas, there's guns. I mean, who didn't put those two together, right? It's spilled out. It's maracas. There could have been a drive-by maracaing in the parking lot, and we wouldn't have heard about it. There's probably
Which would have been so much cooler if somebody just drove by and went.
You're muted, Donny.
Got you, motherfucker.
I can't. Why does he do this to me like at least one time a show? This dude just takes me out. Like
we had 4 victims of a drive-by maraca. It's sorry. It was horrible. They're still sitting here with sombreros on. It is ungodly.
How much frustration it would relieve, though, if every time someone pissed you off, you could just take a maraca and like shake it in their face. Like,
you used to do that with
it gets
dogs.
the point across.
Like a jar of change. You scare the dog.
Right. All right. Well, Andrew apparently has gone away. So
I didn't know. I was looking at Don Juan's menu.
I'm still here. Donny went to Don Juan's menu. He was.
That's how you know we're fat.
Yeah, but see,
Don Juan, what's on their menu?
But Donny will look at the menu, but he never gets anything new from what they said before. Like they go to their same places and they get the same things.
No, Donny runs the menu. Donny is he's a menu runner.
The same thing.
Donny is the guy who's like, I'm going to need the new menu that you just laminated because I know there's a number 36 on there.
Yeah. I'm going to check that out.
My point was, so I see on Facebook, there was a shooting last night at the mall. And then someone on there commented, you mean that old relic from the 70s? They haven't torn that thing down yet? And I'm like, I know. but I do. I go to the mall now, but it's very recent. The mall used to be the greatest place ever, like even 5 years ago. And now you just walk in there, it's like empty and sad, and it does seem like a relic.
When has it ever been empty? Do you guys go there in the early morning when the old people are walking the mall?
No, it just like the store. There's a lot of empty stores, and
we went.
Go ahead, Donny.
We went to the mall like a couple weeks ago, and there was a lot of people there, and I was very happy to see people there. I was like, okay, this is a good sign. It's still alive. But I was talking to Ashley about it the other day. I was like, I hope they bounce back. I hope it's because obviously the mall is on life support, like in general in the country. But we were watching a show where they had they used to have like pop stars go to the malls and like sing
Yes.
Bring that back. Let's bring Bieber to Franklin Park Mall. Come on, we'll get people over there. Let's do this.
Or even what's that chick's name that the kids love now?
Olivia Rodrigo. Who's
guys. Let's
she
be
can't
realistic.
tour until next year because of her TV schedule. I looked it up.
Guys, let's be realistic. We're Toledo. We're talking about the Franklin Park Mall. We can only afford impersonators, not the actual talent.
That's fine.
Okay.
Well, Olivia Rodrigo is the
impersonator.
She's the Billie Eilish impersonator. My kids got so mad when I said that last night.
You guys,
I
love impersonators. She's
Billie Eilish karaoke. All she is.
A little bit of Taylor Swift in there sprinkled in.
Yeah, maybe because she's a good storyteller.
Well, back in the day, like those guys needed the malls. Like they needed the malls. They needed to go and be seen. Like Britney Spears was singing in the mall. Tiffany singing in the mall. But now you got YouTube, so I don't have to be outside a Hot Topic. I can do it from my phone.
Man.
Okay, so I'm just curious. But I was literally at the mall like a week or so ago, and I don't remember seeing this desolate place you're talking about.
Really, with like empty stores and stuff like that.
I mean, no more than usual since I've moved here.
Here's the other thing is people don't go, like, they don't want to go there. Like, and I saw other comments are like, I would never go to that mall. And when I spent a lot of time the last couple months at Fallen Timbers, and there were a lot of families, East Side, South Side, whatever, that would come there now and watch movies, because even they're like, I don't go to the mall anymore. It's not safe. I'm not going to get shot up to go see a movie. We come out here to.
Yeah, you got to go to Fallen Timbers where it's outdoors. I mean, you trap me in a mall, I'm stuck. I could run into JCPenney's shoe department and be fucked. Like, that's not a fun thing. I need to see trees. I need exit routes. That's what I need. Yeah. I need exit routes. I need to go like this. Shooting starts. Meet me behind PF Chang's. That's where I'm gonna be.
Be on the giant horse.
So like Christopher, I haven't been in the mall in 4 years. He grew up as a mall. I was a mall rat. Dude, I remember taking our bus route would take us straight to the mall. We would just jump on the bus, and it was one bus, and we would go get straight to the mall, and we would just hang out there all day.
Hell yes! You jump on the bus, go to the mall, come back with a poster of two hot chicks on a Corvette that said Miami Nice, and then you would walk home, you would get home, and your mom would go, "What the shit did you just spend your money on?" Yep. And I was like, "Technically, it's your money, but
yeah."
That's how you socialize. Like, nobody had names. It was like you were identified by where you worked at, like the Orange Julius girl, the guy from the shoe store. Yeah. But you knew these people, like they were your family. Like, hey,
and they were ballers. Movie theater. There was like a hierarchy in the mall of employees. Like, it was the guy who ran the Red Baron. He was number one because he unlimited tokens. And then
what about the movie theater guy? He's up there.
And then the movie theater guy. Absolutely.
I was a movie theater guy.
Yeah.
And then there were a couple of people who you were just like, all right, now you're barely a mall employee. Like, you work at Arthur Treacher's.
They were in the middle things, but those were like those were always the hot girls were always the one in the kiosks. Yeah, and it was like whatever the fad was at the time, you know.
I remember
they'd be the slap bracelet kiosk.
I remember the slap bracelet. I remember I had a kiosk one year. I had a place we sold tutus for kids.
Yeah. Nice.
Who was walking up to the kiosk in the mall and buying a tutu from you?
Someone with a kid with them.
Yeah.
If we walked by a tutu kiosk, my kids would have been all over it, no matter who was running it. It could have been anybody running it, and they would have ran up to it.
Here's the problem that I realized is when you have a little kiosk, you don't have a lot of employees. It's like you and maybe another, a person or whatever. You realize, and you have to be open every single hour the mall's open. You don't realize how many hours the mall is open 7 days a week. And here's the other thing: is because those guys that sell like the hair dryers, that they're foreign guys. I don't know where they get them from, but the foreign people they import that, you guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Like, can I touch your hand? I want to put stuff on your hand. Like those guys.
Salt crystals from Egypt.
Yeah, those guys. Yes. Can I touch your hand? And
they're like, holy shit! I didn't know Egyptian salt was so good.
Yes, those guys. They put in a rule at the mall that you had to be within arm's distance of your kiosk, or you'd get fined. And if you were late, you'd be fined. And it was a pain in the ass. Go ahead, Donny.
Oh. No, I was just saying. Yeah. Well, but the people that worked at the restaurants, they were like on a different level. They didn't associate themselves with us mall rats. They were like the corporate people. They were like, I don't know what it was. You know what I mean? Like they just had like a different.
What about working? What about working
at
a Sparrow makes you feel superior to others?
Well, not a Sapporo. That's not a restaurant. That is not. That is the food court. You know, you talk about those because they leave every day with money in their pocket, and they know that you got to wait 2 weeks until Things Remembers cuts you a check.
I tell you, the only kiosk I've ever purchased anything from is the massage dudes. The dudes that'll do the massage, like you have that little massage chair right there, and they do the massage right there, and you got like hundreds of people passing you.
It's
and
so
you're
awkward. I've done it.
I've
weirdest massage. Yeah. You're just there. And like,
well, and
I didn't think about this part when I signed up.
because your head is through the donut hole, and you're just watching people walk by.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're seeing them from their waist down.
Yeah, you're like, hey, nice Air Force Ones. That's nice, nice. Look at, I think he could do better. That guy's got end ones on. That's not a good shoe.
Donny, Christopher's remembering the Orange Julius and $2 movies at Northtown. $5 you can spend all day at the mall.
Yes, and the Orange Julius girl was cool. She would hook us up with a free Orange Julius. So thank you if you're out there.
You know what the best store?
Can I get a little more Julius than Orange?
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah, the mall, the best mall at the store when I was
OJ ruined that store too.
Was Spencer's. We used to love Spencer's.
Dude, it's all just sex toys now.
It's called Hot Topic now, or Box Lunch or Lunchbox or something. There's a couple of them.
I was gonna say, yeah, Spencer's is all just sex toys now and posters for your college dorm.
Right, but what Spencer's was, there's other stores that are like that now.
Someone said they remember going to. Priscilla says she remembers going to Southwick Mall. They'd spend the entire Saturday there. I know, dude. I was that guy. We loved the mall.
I remember before I could go out on the weekend, I would have to run to Southwick Mall to go to Deb to get an outfit.
When I first moved here, Southwick Mall basically looked like a scene out of The Walking Dead. Like it was already gone by the time I moved to Toledo, so I never got to experience the beauty.
Go ahead, Don.
I worked there too.
Carousel?
The store.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, somebody just said that. Christopher said
there was at Southwick. I just sent a video in the messenger. Do you guys remember those little animals that you could drive around? At the mall?
Yes.
I have a video of Melania
them,
crashing one.
They or no?
They do.
Melania crashed one?
Hold on,
yeah, I just shot over to Gina. Check it out.
It was so cool because you could just drive all through let's see. I want to see.
Hold on.
And it's not like they have a speed limit in the mall. It's like nothing they ever thought about before.
Those things move pretty good. This is an older video, so
Donny,
Melania's 9.
Didn't you ride one? I feel like I saw. Oh my gosh!
I was on one once. I don't think I have a video of it, but yeah, I mean, Ashley might have posted it.
I'm not back on my game today at all.
All right. One other thing. Well, we got to get to Tiefel.
Hold on. Let's do this real quick.
Don't have time.
Anytime to play my YouTube videos.
After this.
Look at Ashley. That's Ashley in the front. Look on the Angry Bird.
Oh, yeah. You guys just rolling through the jewelry store.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
Roll right into the flower pot.
That's fantastic.
Memories,
good times. All right, let's get into the WTF news with Ebenezer Bushrod. Whenever you're ready, Ebenezer, take it away.
Well, the tragedy of the Titanic continues today. At the Titanic Museum attraction, nestled in Tennessee's Smoky Mountains, they build themselves as the world's largest Titanic museum and attraction. They do things like letting people put their hands inside 28-degree water so they can experience what the people that had escaped from the ship experienced while they were waiting for rescue. Things like that. Well, they have a giant ice wall, and it collapsed.
Okay.
The giant ice wall collapsed and injured several people. Firefighters showed up. By the time emergency personnel showed up. They had evacuated the building, and they were already cleaning up the mess while apparently ignoring the injured people. Like, emergency personnel will deal with them. And they just started cleaning the mess up.
I remember going to, they had the travel exhibit for the Titanic, and you put your hand in the 28-degree water, and then I got kicked out because then I would stick my hand in my pants because I said I really wanted to feel what it would be like floating in the water. I did that a few times.
They thought you were just taking a bath. I touched that wall. That thing was scary. It was big. It was like 12 feet tall or something crazy.
Good.
So
this is shaking your head.
All right, Dunedin's Children's Hospital in New Zealand is having a unique little issue. They find themselves directly across from Hayward College, specifically the residences, the Otsego Hall, and they sent a note over to the university asking if the students could please remember to close their curtains at night, because apparently the children are getting a show from the windows viewable from the children's hospital rooms. And they're like, maybe cover up a bit. Maybe there are certain activities that the children don't need to be seeing.
Right.
First of all, that's bullshit. Every kid needs something to dream towards to fight off the illness that put him in the hospital.
Yeah.
That's what you need. If that is what Timmy needs to get over leukemia, then you show Timmy college titties all day. You let him stare. You let Timmy go like this. Well, I don't know why chemo seemed to just start kicking ass. Well, I'll tell you something, Doc. I saw Stephanie, who evidently is a humanities major, and I definitely need to be here for her.
Well, Timmy. Well, apparently,
you want to see Stephanie in person, don't you? You got to stick around, buddy.
Apparently, it's been a kind of a running joke among the hospital staff and everything for a while, and it basically just took one parent to complain. That then set off
it was a mom.
It was a mom for everyone.
You know it was a mom.
It was Timmy's mom.
It's never a dad. A dad is never. A dad is like, why can't I get cancer? That is what a dad does.
I will tell you who it was.
Wait, hold on. It's the one dad saw Stephanie's titties. He's the one dad on the ward that would spend the most time in Timmy's. He was like, God, that dad cares so much.
Yeah, so this is who complained. It was the wife of the guy who always wanted to take the night shift at the hospital. And then she had to one night, and she found out why her husband was taking the night shift at the hospital. She complained.
Yeah, because she was talking. She was like, my husband is such a good man. He spends all the waking hours of the night with our son, who has been fighting.
He lets me go home and take a rest.
You know, our son, he was a victim of a drive-by Moroccan, and my husband has been staying up with him for days and nights, and I just love him. I can't believe the depth of his dedication. And then he got sick, and she was like,
dedication, my ass, you motherfucker.
And she went to see her son, and he was like, my dad's been here all the night. What? What?
I thought you guys left me alone at night to rest.
I know he must have been in another room or something. This is very upsetting.
He's visiting children that aren't his.
Yeah. Hi, kid. I'm gonna need you to scoot the fuck over. You got the best view today.
You need to be in room 105. Either my kid needs to move to room 105, or I'm going to visit John.
Yeah. And,
right.
All right. Well, so by now everyone's aware of the court filings.
Hold on. Christopher Cody says, I worked as an armed officer for student housing here in Toledo, and nothing is more awkward than having to make eye contact with a student resident, explaining to them they got to close their blinds because others are getting a free OnlyFans subscription. If you want them to pay, close your goddamn blinds. Steffi's like, I don't know why I have no subscribers, but yeah, there's hundreds of people at the window.
Here's the thing. Why do people have to look? Why do you got to ruin somebody else's day? Just keep fucking walking. Walk. If you're outside,
don't look.
Yeah, you were going somewhere. Keep fucking moving. Keep kicking rocks, buddy. How about that? Mind your business. You don't know how long I've been working on this foreign exchange student. I mean, Jesus.
Oh. So, all right. Well, by now everybody's aware of the accusations in the court filings for the now embattled New York governor Andrew Cuomo, where he has the accusations of groping and being inappropriate with staff and other people.
Donny was not aware by his facial expression.
Okay, well, he's facing these allegations. The attorney general's made filings on it, and he's prepared rebuttals for all of the attorney general's findings. And he's also released a video on Twitter with a prepared statement against it. And his entire defense, which is also included in his rebuttals of the attorney general's filings, is I do it to everyone. I wasn't harassing anyone. I wasn't discriminating against anyone. I don't care if you're black, white, young, old, straight, LGBT. I grope whatever. I don't care.
That's not exactly the argument.
Not exactly his wording. I took liberty, but that's basically what it was.
You took a lot of liberties.
A lot of liberty. So much liberty, you changed the story.
Yeah.
No. He said the exact wording is, I do it with everyone, black and white, young and old, straight and LGBT.
Hold on, because if you watch Chris Cuomo, you know, look, the Cuomo family has been in the news, has been in the spotlight for almost 50 years. So you know that whether it's Chris, they'll cry on television, they're very lovey, and he's like sweetheart and honey, and he's old. He's like 70 years old, isn't he not? 665. So he's like, kiss him on the forehead, gives you a hug, he's a kiss your cheek. I mean, he's that type of guy. Now, did he have some inappropriate shit go on there? Yes, he did. Of course he did. He didn't. He's not. I'm not stupid. But it was mixed. Yeah, it was mixed with the two. He was just old school and mixed with some inappropriate, and he just got caught. So, dude, you have to resign. You have to resign. You got to go.
There was one point where they were like, he hugged a woman, and he hugged her so hard, her breasts pressed up against him. And I'm like, isn't that just a fucking hug? Isn't that just like a regular hug? Like,
that might be some of them, but the other stuff is pretty damning. Like,
he cherry picked the stuff where he is just a touchy feely. The whole family's touchy.
Yeah, I think didn't even use a picture of him hugging Biden to like say, look, I hug everyone or something like that.
Men and women.
Yeah. Now he does add in the video commentary. Doing it to everyone does not make it okay.
Right. Yeah.
Sexually harassing everyone doesn't make it okay.
I mean, if you're sexually harassing anyone,
it's only harassing when he's not attractive.
That's not true.
Absolutely, it is. Nobody's ever filing. Have you seen a sexual harassment suit against Brad Pitt?
I would say, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. If Donny P was inappropriate with 10 women, let's just say, and I'm not saying he would be. I'm saying
Donny P's down here with a face like, dude, I'm married. What are you doing?
Yeah, if Donny P was inappropriate with 10 women, and Chris Tiefel was inappropriate with the same 10 women, who's going to have more sexual?
Okay, because the definition of sexual harassment or assault is unwanted sexual harassment.
Not assault.
Every woman doesn't want
talking assault
from this guy.
Or sexual harassment. It doesn't matter. The key word is unwanted. That's the key word.
But you know what? Can I just tell you, I have been assaulted by utility companies with unwanted bills for years.
Yeah, okay. Because obviously there's a sexual component to it, D, and you know that what I mean. The unwanted part is the important part, is what I'm saying.
Utility guy.
So maybe a girl wants Donny P to hit on her and does not want Tiefel to hit on her. That's where the ugly thing is. It's not like good-looking men are allowed to go around groping women. You can't do that. It doesn't matter how good-looking you are. You cannot do that. So it has nothing to do with how ugly someone is.
We're taking some comedic license, but there is always some truth in comedy.
Yeah.
All right, that is but thank you, Gina. You are correct. That is the WTF News with Ebenezer Bushrod, and for Donny P, go see him at Taylor Kia. Buy a car.
The carnival. The carnival's there, Andrew. The new minivan, but they don't have the 11-seater. Donnie's working on that. He's going to try to get it imported.
Yeah, I think it's like in India.
All right,
we need that.
Donny P, the car salesman that doesn't grope.
Donny P is the car salesman that doesn't grope. Demetrius is if you need some insurance, or even if you just get a quote. It's fun. Demetrius will take you out to dinner or something. Go get a quote from Liberty, and he'll even, if you're good, he'll even let you touch Limu Emu in his pants. Limu Emu is going to be just says Limu Emu is in there. You can go search for him.
Poor D. Oh my god! If anybody tries to touch Limu Emu in D's pants, he's going to punch you in the throat because he's allowed. Okay.
That is true.
Yeah.
No sexually harassing.
Unless you're coming at me with that corn cob thing. And then we'll talk. Then it's not actually
butter the emu.
It's more of assistance.
It's a salt and butter.
Salt and buttery.
Time to go. We're ending right there. That was it.
Southside Gina for Cabela Media. Chris Tiefel, I'm Andrew Z. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
I'm a hippo.
Broadcast Hippo. Digital media. Come on!